Chapter 15. You are God's masterpiece. Michelangelo once said, "Every block of stone has a statue inside it, and it is the task of the sculptor to discover it." In life, there are times when it feels like we've hit a wall. Everything is going great, and then bam, we are looking at a block of stone in front of us. What do we do? How are we to respond? Maybe we blame God, saying, "God, why have you allowed this to happen?" Maybe we complain and become bitter about it. In these moments of defeat, remember that God can take that wall and turn it into a work of art. Take the time and energy that you have and allow God to sculpt your life. Simply because something is negatively affecting you does not mean that God caused it. Some believe that everything that happens for a reason, and that's what will be, will be. Yet, if Moses would not have lifted his hands and struck the water, would the Red Sea have parted? If Noah built the ark, would they have lived? And if David had not stepped out in faith, would he have killed the giant? Ultimately, we are faced with many challenges in this life. There is but one question: what and who? What will you do, and who will you turn to? Jesus once said, "Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28. God wants us to turn towards him. I love the NIV translation, that NIV application commentary on this passage, which says, discipleship to Jesus is not essentially a religious obligation. Rather, ours is an intimate relationship with the one who calls, "Count on me and learn from me." Let us continue to place our care on Christ. Stop the endless cycle of fear and anxiety. Some things we cannot control. Do the best you can. Do, pray, and give it to God. Sometimes we wait for the perfect opportunity or the perfect timing, yet all the while we miss the good that we could do right now. Let us not become so super spiritual that we look past the here and now. When something doesn't go our way, what will be our response? Are we going to take a step of faith and trust God? Or are we going to sit still and do nothing? Maybe you lost your job. You got sick. You were in a car wreck. Take the time to grieve. Allow God to minister to you. And yet remember that this can be an opportunity to take the time that you have and make something great. Don't allow depression to have its way. Instead, find every positive light that you can see. Inside every negative situation is a statue that can be carved out. Keep moving forward. Use the time and energy to turn what it was meant for your harm to work out for your good. You hold the carving tools, take them and place them in God's hands, the perfect sculptor. Discover the statue in every stony situation.